Grace and peace, friends and family. Welcome to another conversation. My name is Joy, and I am the founder of Teaches. I am a certified life coach, and helping you overcome narcissistic abuse is what I do. I'm no stranger to what this is and how it feels. And today I want to talk to you about divorcing a narcissist, which is something that I did. It wasn't easy, but it got done. Before we get into today's conversation, I want to invite you to visit my website, which is pinkgirlteaches.com, and I invite you to subscribe to receive my weekly newsletter. It goes out every Wednesday, and I share a lot of information about what's happening or what I'm up to and ways that we can connect, and always share a message of hope and encouragement to you. Sometimes it's just a word of prayer, but it's another way for us to be connected. So let's talk about divorcing a narcissist. You know, for many of us, when we got married, divorce really wasn't a thought. But trying to stay married to a narcissist is kind of like putting the nail in your own coffin. It just isn't, it's difficult. I tried it. It didn't work. I tried it. I tried my best to keep things going, but you know, being married to one of them people, it's not an easy thing. But when the marriage ends, it signals the beginning of a war, because the narcissist, for whatever reason, they decide that they'll want to fight you. It's very rare that they just walk off, not caring so much. But a lot of times you'll find that, divorcing a narcissist is a high conflict. They look at the children in the marriage as pawns, and they'll want to get those children, not because they want to be a good parent, but to use them to hurt you, because you are always going to be, or should I say, the children are always going to be a connection to you. They're an extension of you. And if the narcissist can't hurt you directly, they do it through their children or through your children, whether it's, trying to alienate you from the children, or talking badly about you to the children and putting the children against you and filling their heads with, well, it was your mother's fault. It was your father's fault. This is why things are the way that they are. Sometimes they even have conversations with children that are highly inappropriate. The narcissist has been having affairs upon affairs, and yet they will let the children know that, hey, it was your other parent that was having the affair, that was doing these things. Ask me how I know. I'm just saying. But you see, when it comes to divorcing a narcissist, you got to remember that they don't change because of divorce. They don't change. They just amp up their antics. And so their end goal is going to be to cause emotional demolition. That's it. Emotional demolition. They want to destroy you emotionally. They want to keep you or get you to a state where you're incapacitated, and they are not going, and they think that you will not be able to overcome or recover the devastation that they are causing, because to them, again, when the marriage ends, when the marriage ends, war begins. And so now this is a bloody battle, and they have to win. They play to win. They play to win. And so you'll find that very rarely do they agree to anything. And even if they make an agreement and say, okay, I agree to this, they'll switch it up. And you find yourself in a high stakes standoff with these people. In their eyes, we know that in these situations, right, we may have to compromise. I'll let you have this and I'll keep this. But for them, compromise is like a dirty C word. They view it as a loss. And so, no, they won't compromise. They don't want to compromise. And so they dig into their demonic toolkit, right? They dig into their demonic toolkit, and what they find in there, what they are seeking to do when they are in that demonic toolkit, is to cause the perfect storm in your life. There needs to be, in their minds, should I say, there needs to be a storm within your emotions. And so you'll find that they become so deceitful. Sometimes the deceit begins to happen as you begin to say, or they realize that you are serious about this divorce. They see you're not playing and they don't want to let you go. So you'll find sometimes that the narcissist will play nice. But anytime the narcissist is playing nice, and I say playing nice, not by mistake, I mean that thing. They play nice. They assume a role. And whenever they do that, you got to understand that there's a price for you to pay. They're playing nice for a reason. To suck you in, to make you think of that love bombing, to make you think that, oh, you know what, maybe I am overreacting and we can really work this thing out. No, they are playing. It is not intentional. It is not real. That game will come to an end. So they'll play nice to get you to stay, make all these promises, and nothing changes. That's why when you make the decision to move forward. And a lot of times we go back and forth in our minds. Am I doing the right thing? I don't want to rip my family apart. I want to tell you from personal experience that you're doing the right thing. We can never look at a narcissist and see that we are raising children with these people and think that it can ever at any point be the right environment for our children. And even if the narcissist is more wealthy or more financially stable than you, take what you have and move on. You can always start again. God is the restorer. And we need to put our trust in him, not in people, and certainly not in the narcissist. God, make your petitions known unto him. He tells us it throughout the word to not be anxious for anything, but all things by prayer and supplication. And so you make your requests known to him, and don't hold back when you go to God. Just speak what is in your heart, speak what is in your mind, and have that conversation, because he says we have not because we ask not. And he also tells us to knock, seek, and ask. So these are the things that we need to do, because when we do that, we are inviting him into our situations. I remember seeing a comment just today. Somebody said, oh, well, you know, God is seeing everything that's happening and and he's not doing anything. But God is not going to just barge into your life. You've got to invite him into these moments. That's why I love to tell you to invite him into your moments of pain, shame, anger, disappointment, regret, whatever it is that you are feeling, even your joyful moments, right? Invite God into all of those things, because he is your heavenly Father. And just like our earthly parents or earthly relationships, right? Because I know not every parent is healthy, but those good ones, those people that we love and we trust, and we know that they're our genuine support, we share these things with them. So why not invite God into all of those moments? This is where we begin to walk with him and grow with him, and he begins to reveal another dimension of himself to us, and we get to see him. You know, going back to this perfect storm that narcissists create, right? So they'll be deceitful and they'll lie about, you know, maybe they've had a change of heart, but they'll just flat out lie about everything. Many times we've had several discussions about how if their lips are moving, they're lying. And this is no different. You know, they fabricate stories. And so if you are seeking an attorney, which if you can, I advise you to get one, get a high conflict divorce attorney. Because they know exactly what they're dealing with. They know that, okay, this is a narcissist. They know that there's something going on with that person. And 9 out of 10, they're skilled in that because they are high conflict. So they know what to look like. Because, you know, with the narcissist, they'll tend to hide assets. And you may find that you need to now hire a forensic accountant to find those missing accounts or those hidden accounts, the offshore accounts. And a lot of things are going to have to be reviewed with a fine-tooth comb. And if you can, this is where it's best to allow yourself or to invest in these, you know, in these resources, a forensic accountant, the high conflict attorney. And you'll find that even in this process of divorce, going back to the demonic toolkit, these narcissists are going to pick arguments. They're going to be incredibly argumentative, as if they're not already, but in these high stake matters, right? Because they're now seeing their life change. They may have had in their mind that you would be the forever supply, and you're saying, nope, not me, not today. And this happens even if they're the ones who initiate the divorce, because they do sometimes. And that's only because, whatever reasons they've got going on, but they do sometimes. And so you'll find that they act like they have to have the last word. And this happens even with the judge. And this is where they shoot themselves in their own feet when they start to argue with the judge and try to have, the last word. But they'll sow seeds of discourse and animosity, and it just heightens the conflict. And they will seek reasons, and they will, every opportunity that they can get to argue, they are going to seize that thing with two hands. And so your responsibility when it comes to this is to only respond through text, through email, and keep it as simple as possible, because they're going to want to go on a rant to kind of frustrate you and to pull you out of your character, because they're trying to keep you in that combat zone. So you've got to remember to keep the main thing the main thing. Another thing that they're going to be doing or seeking in that demonic toolkit is revenge. They want revenge. They want revenge because they are very resentful people. And you have to remember that narcissists they hold grudges forever. They hold grudges forever, but sometimes they'll blame you for the failure of the marriage, even though they know that their own behaviors led to the demise of the marriage. But you see, they'll aim for collateral damage on the way out. This is where you'll find that they'll hurt even their own children to hurt you, because it's all about collateral damage at this point. And so ways that they'll do it is through widespread destruction. It could be financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Everybody in the family, including the pets, can get that as far as the narcissist is concerned, because they want to make an impact of their hatredness. They want everybody that is left behind standing in the fog to feel it, and feel it deeply, because it's about revenge. They don't care. And so you see, even when it comes to, the division of assets, they will not want to compromise about anything, because remember, you're not dealing with a regular person. You're dealing with somebody who is disordered. You're dealing with somebody who is influenced by demons. And so their goal is to create a combat zone where you are always on the defense, where you are always hyper vigilant and anticipating bombs to go off, because when you're that nervous, sometimes you can't reason well, because you're in a state of freeze, flight, or fight. And so, in this moment, that's why they begin to stir the pot a lot and begin to blame you for things. And even while you become so hyper focused on trying to, respond or just to function in the moments, they'll blame you for a lot of things. And a lot of it is just manufacturing drama, because they are notorious for it, or they'll hide in your own shortcomings. This is why it's so important that you know your own shortcomings for yourself. Don't allow anybody outside of you to be so familiar with your shortcomings that you don't recognize these things for yourself, because this is where people begin to twist and manipulate them and try to use those things against you. But that's not how it's supposed to work. This is, you should know your shortcomings so that you become secure with that, and you know what you are working on, so that when somebody tries to talk about those things, you'll be like, nah, I'm good. I've got this. because you recognize that it's just, it's a shortcoming. It does not define your character. One of the things as we move forward from these toxic relationships and these narcissistic relationships, these demonic entanglements, is we want healthy relationships. And what you have to remember, that you as a person are the sum of good things and not so good things, because we're on the journey to becoming. And so as you are on the journey to becoming and you're considering a new partner for the future, think more of a coach, somebody who sees your shortcomings but recognizes that you're the totality of the good and the bad, and you are not judged because you are good, and you are not judged because you are bad, but you are loved for all that you are. They won't amplify your good while they ignore the bad, because any good coach is going to coach you in the areas where you are not good, right? So that you can get better. And as you get better in areas of weakness, you become better as an overall person, and you become stronger. Whereas some people are comfortable with only having cheerleaders on their team. But the problem with the cheerleader is that they'll amplify, they will magnify your areas of strength while ignoring the areas of weakness, and you will never rise above that. That's why you want somebody who is safe emotionally, who is safe spiritually, who is safe mentally, who is safe psychologically. But the more you become in tune with yourself, you'll be able to reciprocate to this person in the same way. And remember, this never happens with a narcissist. I don't care what you do. You can lay down on the ground and let them walk all over you. It will not change them. Another thing that you'll find narcissists do, right, in the process of divorce is violate court orders. Those orders are set in place for a reason, but narcissists could not give two hoots about that. It could be visitations, occupancy of the house, the dividing of assets. They don't care. They will drag these things out simply to frustrate you, and so that they can maintain control of the situation. Listen, it's high conflict, but it is also witchcraft, because it's controlling, it's demonic, it is not normal. We should be able to walk in to come together even before going to court, to go to mediation and say, you know what, this is what it is, and that's what it is. But with these people, right, they are set, even if they don't have anything, they are just set on causing as much destruction as possible as they go out. And the crazy thing is that they have their supplies all set up, but it's not about supply in this instance, but it's about the gratification that they're going to get from hurting you at any cost. And it's dangerous when somebody does not care. They have no regard for you as a person, that they're ready to inflict the most amount of damage on their way out the door. So be mindful about their undermining behavior. And they'll try to strike a wedge between the kids. They cause all kinds of interference, and they'll convince the kids. They'll try to convince the kids that you are the problem. I lived through that, but they will try to convince the kids that you are the problem. This is why all you as a parent should be doing is showing up to love and support your children. It is not about making the children see that the other parent is the issue. They have eyes. You just show up and love them and be the best parent that you can be, and be a prayerful parent, because prayer unlocks doors. Prayer opens eyes, and prayer covers. And above all, these children need to be covered. And so I wanted to share this with you, because I've seen a lot of people discussing how they're going through the divorce process with a narcissist, and the frustrations that they're experiencing. I wanted to take this opportunity to validate your experiences, as well as offer you encouragement. Many people will be questioned by those that are around them and say, well, you shouldn't even be getting getting divorced in the first place. But I want to just draw your attention to Amos 3:3. And it simply says, can two walk together except they be agreed? We're never in any kind of agreement with the narcissist. The truth of the matter is that you were hoodwinked, you were bamboozled, you were deceived, you were lied to when you married this person in the first place, because you go in thinking that you're marrying one person, but the moment that the ink doesn't even get the opportunity to dry on the paper and the other person shows up, you see somebody now and you begin to experience someone that you didn't even know existed. Suddenly the abuse is in the open. Now they don't care. The gloves are off. They're ready to fight dirty because they have you secured. They have you right where they want you. You see, the truth of the matter is if we knew who we were dealing with, and I said who intentionally because these are not who they present themselves to be in the beginning, is not who we get to experience as time passes. And the thing is, it's not for you to crucify yourself with saying things like, I should have known sooner. How could I miss these red flags? But one thing, and that those are good things to be aware of, right? However, you got to understand that it's like the analogy of the frog in the pot of water. It starts off warm and boiling, and the frog does not recognize the temperature change. This type of abuse is subtle. It happens gradually. It happens over time. And by the time you finally realize and you've connected the dots, because don't ever forget that you've been under demonic influence, you've been under demonic indoctrination. What do I mean? What am I saying? Well, from the very get-go, there were seeds, or you were shown something, should I say, that was contrary to what was real. The enemy is an angel of light. He disguises themselves, and they gave you a facade. They presented an illusion. They sent a representative of what would never be there. But that's what you got to know. That's what you got to experience. They held up a mirror to show you yourself, and you loved the qualities that you saw. But over time it changes, and they just become somebody we don't know. And that's how you end up in these entanglements. But you see, you got to look at it like it's like you bought a lemon. You bought a lemon. If it was a lemon like a car, you try to return it. And simply when you're divorcing these people, all we're doing is giving them back to the person, or we're returning it back to sender, so to speak, you know. So I hope that this is encouraging for somebody today and that it validates your experience. Again, my name is Joy, and I'm the founder of Pink Girl Teaches. I invite you to take a look at my website, pinkgirlteaches.com. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe for the newsletter and send a message to say hello. I will respond. So family, have a fantastic day. Continue to be fearless and pursue your most significant state. Have a good day, and God bless.